Hello guys, how you doing? Welcome, I'm 𝐒𝐮𝐲𝐶 and I have some good news regarding Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It's been a lot of negative stuff coming out from the Sim Shack in the last couple of weeks, and believe it or not, I'm actually a very positive person, but I'm an analyst and I think it's important that people know the truth. So it's nice to have some good news regarding the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and their horrendous launch. It has been horrendous, but it seems like we know what the problem is, and it's going to be resolved quicker than we expected. First of all, I just want to say a big thank you to all of the players out there who had commented on my last Honest Update video saying, and I quote, that they personally have not experienced any of the issues that we all seem to be having, and they are literally out there flying without issue right now and have been doing that since day one. They all seem really happy with the game, and as I've said many times, despite all the issues, I think there's a lot of positives with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 already. So other than being slightly jealous of them, I am very glad to hear that the system itself does at least work. If it were just one or two people saying this, I'd be skeptical, but there have been a lot of people saying this. What's more is they all seem to be located in pockets of the world. Sweden and Canada seem to be two of the most popular. Furthermore, Microsoft and Asobo have assigned their entire team to fixing the launch issues, and in part have been increasing the number of servers. Perhaps a proper stress test could have given them a clearer algorithmic assessment of the number of servers required based on pre-sales and existing active Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 players. But aside from all that negativity, at least they're not sat on their thumbs. So 𝐼𝐺 announced yesterday that they are seeing significant improvements to the capacity and access issues, and this seems to be an accurate overview. It's suggesting that the outage wave should continue to reduce, and it's looking like it might be resolved much sooner than I initially anticipated. Further investigations suggest that the main culprit has been database cache overload. As a qualified database engineer, I can confirm that databases are notoriously easy to overload. Should anyone ever discover a solution to this decades-old database limitation, you will find yourself to be instantly filthy rich, possibly the richest person in the entire planet. But because you cannot fix a database overload by making it just run faster, they had to literally throttle access, and this is what's been affecting everybody. So what we're experiencing is not necessarily because of the database cache overload, it's because the database caches were being overloaded, so they've had to throttle access to certain countries and regions, I imagine. And this restriction, this throttling, is being lifted as new database servers are being installed. So that actually means that by adding more servers, the data request situation should spread the load across the available databases and thus improve the situation. The more I think about it, the odd way in which data has been moving and missing and just messing about my own game experience, the more likely it sounds to be like a database issue. You're trying to get the relevant data out of the database, and the database just either says, I can't deal with that right now, and it times out, or it gives you a false reading because, well, it shouldn't give you a false reading. It's more likely to do that. It's timing out, and it's saying, I can't give you that information right now because I'm already working on 10 million other requests. So only half of your data is arriving. That is what it looks like. So potentially the actual physical networks, the communication, which is what we initially thought was the problem, looks to be fine. And instead this is a database issue, which is being improved as we speak. I hope this is true. I hope nobody's out there lying. I'm sure they're not. And as soon as the database loads is under control, then it should become instantly smoother. A much better experience, like night and day, like turning the light switches on. I mean, just having enough. It's like upgrading your CPU when you've been playing with a really limited CPU. It's kind of like that. You switch over, put your same game in, and all of a sudden it's like you're getting 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second on ultra settings, whereas previously you were playing on low settings at 30 FPS and still having problems. So it should be very much like that. I now think there's a really good chance we could all be experiencing Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 the way it was intended before Christmas. So, I mean, that's a much, much happier prospect, and I hope that it comes true. Anyway, let me know if you've been trying to get into the system and suddenly you're in and everything's running great. Please let me know, because the more we know it's happening and where it's happening, the more excited we can get about knowing it's coming our way. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Till then, take care. Goodbye for now.